Hello and welcome into my kitchen. Let's go see what's cooking. Well, what's cooking today is some Pinto Bean Gumbo. Now this is a pretty lengthy process and it's going to be done in 2 or 3 steps during the day before we get to scoop some out and enjoy it. So what I have over here on the stove is I have 1 2/3 cup pinto beans that I picked through, make sure there was no rocks in there because you don't want to take a spoonful of beans and bite down on a rock. It's not good for your teeth. But anyway, what I got to do now is I'm going to turn this on high and I'm going to bring it to a boil and turn it off and let it sit for 1 hour. So when the 1 hour goes by, then I will come back in here and we'll start putting all the rest of this together. So while it's cooking, or while it's heating up over here, I'm going to cut up an onion, a tomato, and some okra. Okay, welcome back in. The second step for this delicious pinto bean gumbo is I gotta start adding my ingredients. And my ingredients are, I'm gonna add the onions, the salt pork, and let me see, salt. I'm gonna put in half a teaspoon of salt. Okay. And a bay leaf. My secret ingredient is, I put this on any kind of bean I cook. It's called pinto bean seasoning. This stuff is the bomb. Just sprinkle a few in here, a few shakes in here. Stir it up here. And then I'm gonna start adding the rest of the stuff. So, and you know what? I've never heard of a gumbo that didn't have some kind of meat in it, like chicken or sausage or shrimp. So I'm going to kick this up a little bit by putting some seasoned shrimp in there and half of this smoked garlic sausage after it gets done. Okay, welcome back in. I'm on the last stage of getting this good old pinto bean gumbo ready for the table. Now the next thing I have to do here is I simmered these beans for an hour. Surprisingly, that's all it took. So what I got to do now is I got to put 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. This is 1 tablespoon of sugar, salt, and thyme. Mix that all in there. And goes the okra, tomatoes. And 1 can of whole kernel corn, drained. And I'm going to simmer this for 30 minutes. And on the cover, I'm going to cover it and simmer for 30 minutes. At about 10 minutes or so from the done time, I'm going to add this about 1/2 pound of seasoned shrimp. They're deveined, tail off, and all that stuff. And then 1/2 link of smoked sausage. So when I do that, that's going to say to me, okay, this is a gumbo. Okay folks, we're finally heading for the home stretch to get this Pinto Bean Gumbo done. Now, I've done everything it says on the recipe that I'm using, which is out of a book called Soups and Stews Cookbook. Now there's a lot of good recipes in here that I've used over the years, but the Pinto Bean Gumbo was one of my favorites. But they didn't have any sausage or shrimp in the recipe, so I'm going to kick it up a notch by putting some in there. Now I have about 1/2 pound of deveined shrimp that I seasoned with some chicken and seafood seasoning. I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. And I'm going to cook it. I'm going to cook it in here, simmer it until it gets kind of pink. Then I got 1/2 of a smoked garlic sausage that I think is really, really good. Now you don't really have to cook the sausage too long, it's already cooked. Then I got some cornbread in the oven to go with it. Time to make a test. Oh yeah. The okra is sliced thin enough that it doesn't really take too long for the okra to get tender. Of course the corn, you don't have to worry about it getting tender. It doesn't take very long at all for the corn. But it is so good. Remember to take your bay leaves out. Okay, after a hard day at the office in the kitchen, I finally got this done. Oh, I hope you try this. It is so good. Mmm. sausage really kicks it up a notch. Oh yeah. Okay, one last thing. I put the ingredients and the directions on my channel. It's got all my recipe files. So I'm going to put that link to the ingredients in the comments section. So if you get ready to make this, you can go and see the ingredients on my recipe file. Okay, well that's all I got. Enjoy.